in my opinion, the greatest thing about Anchor is that you don't need a big budget. You don't need fancy equipment. Anchor gives you all the tools that allow you to record, edit, and produce a top quality podcast right from your phone or your computer. When we started out, we literally recorded to our phone for the first 50 episodes, and we never had a problem with it. We always felt like we got great quality, a great service, and it was easy to understand and easy to use. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, and best of all, using Anchor, it is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, it's said that once a year Santa Claus goes to a mall or shopping centre and sits on his lap. You know him, he's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, and he loves it. He loves it.
He does indeed, apparently. That's why he goes every year.
Yeah, he can't deliver his Christmas presents until he's sat in my lap, you know.
You confuse the shit out of me then. Anyway, ho ho, mother flipping ho.
Yeah,
welcome back to Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
You're looking lovely. You're looking very festive.
You are.
If you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to, of course, new listeners and you festive offenders.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for another tinsel-strewn episode of the show.
Oh, yes. Tinseltown in here.
Oh, yeah, it's Crimbo next week.
It is, yeah.
And with it being Christmas next week, we're going to get Christmassy, and we're going to talk about a very Christmassy UFO story this week.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A British one at that as well. A British
one indeed. We're talking, of course, about the Warminster THING.
Oh, yes.
Warminster THING.
What a thing.
Well, when a small town of Warminster in the UK was disturbed by strange sounds one early Christmas morning, and it wasn't Santa.
It wasn't with his sleigh, no.
Yeah, well, people started investigating and the subsequent alien visitations that followed.
Oh, yes.
We'll be talking about
quite a bit in it
later on in the show.
Yeah.
That's coming up very shortly. But as well as other stuff as well, we've got the NASA news and some other bits and pieces that are well worth sticking around for.
Therefore,
I'd say it was better than getting a lump of coal in your stocking.
Yeah, I'd prefer an orange or something like
Tangerine.
That. Yeah, tander. Yeah.
That's what you do at Christmas, isn't it? Nuts, tangerine. Yeah, that's what we used to get.
An apple, banana sometimes. Yeah, you know, get the fruit in.
An apple.
Get the fruit in before you get all the junk in.
No, cookies for breakfast is Christmas Day. That's what you do Christmas Day. You don't have an apple.
Sicko. No.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in this?
You're wrong.
How many kids actually sit down and have a nutritious breakfast Christmas morning? I'm not sure.
No.
There's many.
I think the first meal is dinner.
They're tucking into a selection box at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If
sick in the afternoon,
5
just before
in the
lunch.
morning. You know what I mean? Most kids get up.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what
it's a day, isn't it, really? It's a
feel
day.
like jumping on the bed and waiting for my presents.
Yeah,
well,
I feel like, give me another 5 minutes.
Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Give me another 10 after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Christmas.
Yeah, jolly time. What a jolly time we're having around the world. Well,
it's a jolly Christmas. I mean, obviously,
try and make it the best you can. Really,
be the best Christmas you can be.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say, because to be honest, it's. I mean, obviously, and what I'd say as well, right, is before we go into the show, is, do you know, these people who might, be on their own for Christmas.
Yes, there's going to be quite a few people.
These people who might just, like a text message.
Yeah.
Or a call or something.
Skype even.
So, if you know somebody who might,
might cheer them up
or get a bit of a kind of a warm, happy feeling
bit
from
of a buzz,
a call,
buzz throughout the day.
Do that. Make that your mission this week, people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Get the NASA Karma Army out there.
If you think they're
spreading
lonely,
some
give them
good cheer.
Yeah, and just make sure that...
Or even pop round if you've got the 5
And if
minutes.
you're on your own this Christmas,
Yeah.
right, and you sat there, you're listening to us, drop us a message,
Yeah,
because we'll be happily chat with you.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't be on your own at Crimbo.
And if you're even bolder, we've got even a catalogue of stuff you can hear.
Yeah, you can listen. Go back.
Yeah, listen to what we were saying.
I'm trying to make a lovely gesture, and you're doing shameless plugs from previous episodes. There you go.
Well, we got to plug it.
Talking about Christmas, though.
Yeah.
There's obviously. Today on recording this episode, it's the last Saturday before Christmas Day.
Yeah, half an hour we got.
Half an hour left of the last Saturday of the Christmas day, and to be honest, it has been mental today on the roads. I mean, we were coming to record the show, and what happened, Taylor? Tell the people at home what happened.
We were just coming off the junction to come on the motorway, and then all of a sudden you seen on the slow shoulder a car coming from the opposite direction.
Drove down the motorway on the wrong side. And then it was chased by 3 police cars.
Yeah, who were on the other side.
Oh yeah, well at least they were on the other side, and because obviously you got one car's danger enough, but 3 police cars as well. I seen a crash earlier on today, and everyone's driving like nuts because I understand that it's the last Saturday, but just be careful.
I nearly had a row
you know
with
what I mean? Don't
driver.
ruin your Christmas by doing something a bit silly.
Some shit.
But it's been a bit crazy. Everyone's in a rush to do the last minute bits.
Not concentrating properly.
But you got me thinking. Obviously, one thing I enjoy about Christmas, is
the pudding.
Christmas pudding's another thing I like about Christmas, but I love Christmas in general. But, Christmas TV, because once you've done all the running around, you want to sit down and watch something decent, don't you?
You want to chill out, don't you, and have a drink.
And it used to be Only Fools and Horses Christmas special, didn't it?
Missed that.
There was always like a Christmas special of something that was like, everybody sat down as a family to watch. It was the highlight of the Christmas evening or whatever. You don't get that anymore.
No.
I think the BBC are really even just all channels really, but they all need to pull the finger out and do something a bit special.
Well,
I think we had that. The last hype thing was the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special back in 2019.
Yeah,
and
ended in a are they all right?
Ended in a cliffhanger. So I was kind of wondering whether we'd get an episode this year.
Nah, he's too busy in America,
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
We won't be.
He's too busy earning his cash, isn't he?
But what you can look forward to this year, which I don't really think is... I mean, there's no even Doctor Who.
Well, no.
Until New
Year's,
But, we got Call the Midwife Christmas special.
Oh, well, I'm not watching that.
And the return of Blankety Blank.
Yeah. Now, that is taking the piss. That is an
Blank,
old series that's come back and again.
Blankety Blank. Blankety Blank.
And who's hosting it this time?
Bradley Walsh.
Oh, well, they haven't done too bad there.
I mean, you've got at least a Doctor Who character. He's a Doctor Who related.
Ex-Doctor Who character,
ex-Doctor Who companion.
Yes.
If you want to be technical.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't as good looking as Rose or Billy Piper.
No.
But, she's not ageist.
No.
The Doctor's not.
Well, no.
Anyway, it's like, Bradley, can you kick it with the adventures? Get on board the TARDIS, son.
Well, yeah, who've they got on now? They've got another comedian on now.
It is John Bishop.
It is John Bishop.
John Bishop's, he plays it a bit kind of a dopey sod, though. Like, he plays a bit of like...
I want to see him do more than what he's doing.
A dopey northerner, and, I think...
Not a proper northerner.
It's not a proper northerner, no.
Yeah.
He is a proper northerner,
well,
but, he's playing it like, what's all this?
Yeah,
what's that, Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. Oh, you're starting.
And it's like, come on, I want to see a bit more character out of you.
Yeah, a bit more.
I think John Bishop's a good, funny guy.
Yeah, and he's been in series before.
But it seems a bit like he's playing the plonker. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think.
But they often get the male to do that.
True that, actually, yeah. If we want to look back at, you've got Mickey.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a dopey. Then
was...
you've got Rory. Yeah, he's the same. Bit of a dopey sod.
The girls will come and save you.
Yeah, exactly. What's that about?
Well, isn't it a bit sexist? I think it's time we turned it back round.
I think we've seen a pattern emerging here in terms of, like, dopey male companions.
But you don't hear us complaining about it. We just sit back.
Well, we are. We're kind of doing that now.
Well, we are. Yeah, but it's only us and no one else. You know what I mean?
As actually, this is it though. Christmas TV used to be a bit more of an event. Now it just seems like you just get a kind of load of Christmas special repeats, and you get. Yeah, you don't even get. You probably won't even get cartoons anymore. I was thinking about this. Well, the other day. You always get some sort of Christmas animation.
But it used to be the TV, at least BBC One,
the Snowman,
ITV, and.
Ali
that
Jones.
was it.
I'm Ali Jones.
That basically at certain times you had like cartoons, some entertainment for the kids. But they don't seem to do that anymore. It seems to be like, right, let's put this quiz show on.
I mean, is it the same for our friends over in the States? I mean, they make a big deal of Christmas.
Yeah, but they got about 3,000 channels. They could just go click.
No, but that's the thing, though. That's the worst thing. Just because you got 3,000 channels, just 3,000 channels are crap. We've got a load of channels. We've got lots more channels than we used to have.
Yeah, I wish it was back at the old way.
Whereas when you were stuck with 4 or 5 channels, you'd be talking to people the next day in work. Did you see that program? And the chances are they probably did because there was fuck all else to watch.
Now, if you ask, it's like, no, never even heard of it.
I was watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But now it's these shows still do emerge, but still, it's just what's gone viral and what people are watching on the apps.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like we were talking about cinemas the other week, it's like it's all changing. You know what I mean? And it's changing dramatically fast.
I mean, here's us moaning.
Well, we're not moaning.
Here's us moaning that there's nothing good on the TV. But if we were to go on these apps, we'd probably find that there's a lot of these shows. Yeah. But then again, I went on the Disney Plus app to see what Christmas movies they had. Like to kind of binge watch some Christmas movies.
I bet it was
and there wasn't very much selection. They had kind of Home Alone, but
what, the new one?
Die Hard. Oh God,
I can't believe the remake.
They've done a remake. They have done a new Home Alone. Yeah,
it's they've got no idea of like to bring stuff, but they want the money.
Of course, it's a franchise, isn't it? So they do cash in on the franchise and dive in on.
They cash in, all right, my brother. They cash in, all right.
The fact that Harry Potter's finished and yet they're still making a new Harry Potter.
Yeah,
we'll make a new one up. Don't worry about it. How can we get him back to the Hogwarts? That's it. And it's like,
and is it Monsters and Beasts or something? There's that film franchise that joins to it, and I just realised there was another program.
Do you know that Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah,
that came from literally a pamphlet she wrote about some of the beasts that were connected to the world.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers were like, any
money
literature that's connected to the Harry Potter franchise, grab it. So the whole story that's being developed for that whole series is kind of like
the new and up and coming
film. It's not really
film.
coming from a book. It's not coming from a source material of like a novel. It's coming from a pamphlet, almost like the Hobbit was the first sort of iteration of the Lord of the Rings, and you've got this sort of like children's book about a Hobbit, which is then developed into a three part blockbuster just because it's part of the universe that was popular in the Lord of the Rings. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing, though. It seems like once you bring a single character into, or a couple of characters into a film, you can take them characters and bosh them off somewhere else, making off another film.
You can,
and then the characters within that
spin-offs.
Spin it off again. Yeah,
totally.
It's just like.
Well, I'd be interested to know what everybody's alternative favourite Christmas movie is.
Yeah.
There's some. What was that? Jack Frost, the one about the killer snowman.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
There was that, and then these all Die Hard alternative Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Set at Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
So let us know what yours is.
Yeah.
Over on social media, or leave us a comment. be interested to know what you're, because I need stuff
if it's
to
that
watch.
good, we're at.
I know I need stuff to watch over Christmas, so I definitely need your recommendations anyway.
Well, yeah.
So if you've got a good Christmas movie that you wouldn't consider just being like, your average Christmas movie, like It's a Wonderful Life, or The Santa Claus, or Elf. Standard Christmas movies don't
Something
apply.
Like
Need not
Star
apply.
Wars.
What was that set at Christmas? The holiday special.
No, but they always used to be up in Christmas. You know what I mean? These were
I know
the
what
films
you're saying.
that,
Back to the Future.
generation.
Back to the Future was literally on every Easter.
Yeah.
When you'd be like, it's Easter, Back to the Future's on, and Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, and it makes you think back at them days.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh yeah,
That was a typical Easter film.
They still do that one though. They do still do that. I think it was on like 3 times in a week. Different ones.
Harryhausen, who famously did the animation for the Jason and the Argonauts. Stop motion, really interesting. I went to an exhibition at the BFI, which was some of his armatures, or puppets that he used for the skeletons for the fight scenes. Do you know where the skeletons were all fighting, sword fighting? With the lads. And really good animation and how they did it back in the day. Without CGI.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it looks a bit kind of like, you can tell.
Yeah, you know what's going on, but
it's almost better. And if you could apply those techniques to modern day as well, you could probably get some pretty interesting shots. But anyway.
Yes, we should stop
Christmas.
mumbling.
It is Christmas, so that means we're being a bit more, cavalier with the script.
We are.
One thing I will say is I can't wait to see Spider-Man.
I'm not.
Spider-Man. Apparently supposed to be one of the best Spider-Man movies ever.
Yeah, but how many films have come out, especially in the last couple of years?
I've seriously been trying to avoid spoilers, and it's been so difficult. I feel like, any moment something could happen to spoil it for me. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, it's
Anyway, UFOs we're going to be talking about tonight, and the Warminster UFO. But first, I'd like to talk to you about Audible.
Get a bit of Audible.
Get a bit of Audible in your life. It's a great way for new customers to try audiobooks and make the most of every moment, especially when you got a bit of time off over Christmas. And with their free trial, customers will receive 1 audiobook of their choice to keep, even if you cancel. Prime customers will receive 2 audiobooks in their trial.
Wham bam, thank you, man.
The availability to choose from is a world's largest selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fi, romances, mysteries, classics, and more. They've even we're on Audible.
Yeah.
So if you're just looking to just join up and you need podcasts as well to listen to, we're on there too. After 30 days, you will receive a book every month.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's included in your $7.99 a month. Renews automatically, but you can cancel at any time.
You can. So you can get your free book and go off, or you can stay and collect.
Well, at the moment,
because it's a good price
they've got. It is a good price, but at the moment they've got like another. So if you've tried the trial, and you thought it was good and you got your free book, if you sign back up at the moment, you can sign back up for 99p.
Oh,
right. And that means, if you're a Prime member already, that's $8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In
that's
fact,
meant that.
Is that not? It's not. In fact, I do a lie. It's a lot. It's $6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm overselling it. They're going to be like, no, it's not.
Yeah. We don't oversell.
Well, yeah. So you can download and listen to the world's best storytelling and enjoy audiobooks, original series, and more free from the app. Well, not free, but
Well, yeah. Why not? Because what else are you doing?
What else are you doing?
You got Christmas as well.
It's a good way to unwind, I think, and especially
Christmas Day, get your favourite book. Bang!
I find, if you're busy doing stuff, like if you work with your hands as well, and you're busy, doing something creative, like painting, or
or carpeting,
if you're a joiner or a tradesman, audiobooks are a really good way of getting some culture in your life.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
True. And you get to pick.
Well, I'm still listening to The Coming of the Fairies, which is the Arthur Conan Doyle book that we covered last week.
Ah, right. And what do you think?
It's good. Yeah, check
you
it
like
out.
it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's kind of like all... It's kind of Arthur Conan Doyle. He's being a bit kind of like...
Over the top.
Over the top with it, but like, you know, when it's all like, nope, fairies are real. And,
I'm
you
not
know,
having any other discussion
a lot of it's
about
hard to swallow because, you know...
Well, the fairies.
Well, we were talking. There was actually chatting with a chap on Facebook after he listened to the episode, and he was saying, you know, Arthur Conan Doyle, what a fruitcake, and you know, he was like, you know, because we, as we all know, fairies aren't real, and I went, yeah, they are. What are you on about?
Yeah, well, you're a sucker.
What are you talking about? Fairies are real.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, moving on. Like I say, in Warminster UFOs, Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
Now, keeping it Christmas there, you know, obviously in the early parts of 1965, rumours began to spread throughout a small town of Warminster about strange sounds. They'd been heard literally for decades in the town.
Not really reported on.
Never really reported on, yeah.
One of them things Santa come across.
Well, this is the thing. He was clopping across the roof, weren't he? And somebody was like, "What's
going on? He's dropped a present again."
Yeah, it was probably a bowling ball or something. Like some people ask for weird stuff. Santa's got a lot to carry.
He has.
Well, it was Christmas morning in 1964, and what would follow was basically a period of odd sightings as well, right?
Yeah.
So Warminster became swamped with UFO enthusiasts who wanted to know more about what became to be known as the Thing. Yeah,
it did.
So,
in fact, 8,000 people turned up over one summer weekend in 1965.
Really? Because this is it. It kind of got a bit of a reputation as well.
Did it?
And I think there was kind of like, because there was a big hippie movement as well. Like, I was listening to an interview with Steve Dewey. Who's an author. He basically is authored a few books on the Warminster thing. Yeah, and basically I think he was kind of like down with that sort of movement at the time as well. So like to go and sit on a field looking up at the stars and kind of look for UFOs.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of telly back then,
was quite appealing, you know, to that sort of mindset. You know, go and chill out, look up at the sky.
Yeah, go for a walk with your missus.
You know, exactly, and that's exactly how he put it. He said he'd go up the hill and sit and watch for UFOs.
Yeah.
Now, the town of Warminster itself is located roughly about 2 hours west of London.
Yeah.
It's about half an hour from southeast of Bristol, and you know, it started off as a small quiet town, and then it had probably a population of about 8,000 to 10,000.
Yeah,
and then
it was a
after the Second World War, it ended up becoming a bit more of a boom town. If you like,
because more kids were thrown into the.
I suppose,
suburbs,
baby booms as well after the war, weren't they? So I mean, if it's a nice area to bring your kids up, it was probably why not? Yeah, right. So. It was quite a small town, but it was also located quite prominently near to an army base. Yeah.
In fact, there was a number of army bases dotted around that place.
So, you know, when these reports of a noise started up, I think it was pretty fair to assume that a lot of people assumed that it was, you know, coming from the army base.
Yeah.
And especially in the 60s as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like you fresh out of war, pretty much. Do you know, like your military's still sort of kind of.
You need upgrades here.
The way that Steve put it, actually, he was like, you know, he said that when he used to go on these walks and stand up or sit up on the fields or sit in the hills with his partner at the time, and he'd watch for UFOs. There was things that had happened from the military bases that he would just consider normal, which don't happen now. So there was a lot more activity from the military base that you could basically say, that's, you know, you start to know what's military and what's not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
so he'd say that you'd see
people now, isn't there?
So he'd be up on the hill and he'd see a chopper come in and it'd be dropping off, troops or whatever, and then it'd fly off and come back and repeat that. And then there'd be maneuvers and they'd be firing off red tracer rounds up into the sky. Do you know, like from you know the rifles or the anti-aircraft or whatever they've got, and so you'd see those flying off. And he says that sort of thing doesn't really happen anymore. So nowadays you could kind of look and go, the oddities now, but even back then you could kind of definitively say that's military or that's not.
Yeah, if
Do you
there's
know what I
nothing
mean?
in the town and there's nothing been going on, then obviously it must be the military, because nothing else goes on around the universe.
Well, Warminster ended up becoming famous and entering the history books in terms of UFO sightings, which date back nearly a century. But, obviously it really took off in the 60s, in particular Christmas Day of 1964. These sightings have now become what Warminster known as the Thing, and enthusiasts and UFO hunters, and including some skeptics as well, who have wanted to get to like the bottom of it and try and work out what's been going on, whether the rumours are correct. This is something that's gone on over 50 years. Do you know, in terms of now, this incident, but reports go back, sightings, odd sounds that have also all been reported dating back as early as the 1930s. Incidents that obviously come before, that happened before. So you think about how, you've got World War One, right, which was not fought on British soil, right? So no drama. Yeah, you get on with your life. Your husband's gone to war, your son's gone to war, but you're at home and you're pretty much fine. Yeah. No blitz or anything like that. Yeah. Now, the 1930s was a stable time, in terms of there was no. I mean, we've had. When was the First World War? 1920s, 1930s?
No, 1914 to 1918.
Right, so there you go, right? So you've had 12 years of no war, which the war didn't even enter your country, right?
No, not 12 years, 4 years.
So these sleepy town of Warminster would have just been chilling, right? Waiting for the husbands to come home. Yeah, there would have been no hassle, So then you've got World War II, where you might have got some impact from the Blitz, because you've got
the odd aircraft,
and you're quite close to London, to be fair, right? So potentially you might get some sort of disturbances there.
You'll get a U-2, but you get a bomb on.
But when you've got these, but this is the thing though, but when there's these airstrikes or whatever, and you can cover up booms and mysterious noises, or you're just going to hear mysterious noises all the time. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to kind of go, what was that? Whereas this is a rural town, right, where it's pretty quiet a lot of the time, and, besides war going on and these things that would disguise and mask any sort of strange noises that might happen, it's been reported on in really quiet times, is what I'm getting at. I went around the houses saying it, but
making that's about right. That
so these incidents predate Second World War, and obviously people have kind of wanted to kind of get to know what's going on, so it's made Warminster pretty famous on the map.
Well, they actually had a town meeting on the 27th of August 1965 to get to the bottom of all these issues that they've had, and over 300 people turned up, and it come after August 17th 1965 was
it wasn't
housing estate. They heard an explosion, and then it was actually the first official sighting of an object, which was a ball, like a ball of fire.
Like fire?
Yeah, and it was moving from left to right, and then it went off, basically, disappeared.
Okay.
After that, then they needed to actually try and answer some of these questions, and they actually got no answers. They couldn't actually answer it.
So you were saying earlier about kind of reports not being documented and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There were actually unusual incidents that had been reported,
but not
they were pretty sporadic, so they weren't kind of official, but that was all the way through the 1930s and 1940s. Even some in the 1950s. But it was the incident on Christmas Day when a housewife, Marjorie By, was woken up early on the Christmas morning about 6 a.m. She began to walk the street into the nearby church for Christmas Mass, and along the way she began to hear some pretty creepy noises.
In the area of
she
Ball
said
Hill.
Bell Hill.
Bell Hill, that's right, yeah. At 6:15 in the morning. Yeah, but I've got an extra thing of, I've heard that the report said that she'd actually got put face on the ground when this sound come. It was like a wave. She got shoved onto the ground and she couldn't move.
Right, okay.
For a little time.
Well, she reckons that these noises she described as being very odd, like a crackling. Yeah. She said one report said that she stated it sounded like branches being pulled over gravel.
That's right. Yeah. Which is all weird now.
The story was picked up by a local journalist. By a local journalist. I forget his name now. What is he called?
Arthur Sutwood.
Yeah, Sutwood. Yeah, Arthur Sutwood. So it's picked up by this local journalist.
Yeah.
And, I seen an interview on him, actually, and he was basically saying, the BBC were interviewing him and saying, so how did you get into this? How have you become a UFO enthusiast? Yeah. And he basically said that he's the local journalist for the local paper. He reports on the news no matter what it is. Yeah. And he seen this as being bizarre news that people might be interested in, and that's the only reason why he covered it, being a hard-nosed journalist.
Yeah,
trying to get to the bottom of the facts.
Exactly.
Well, Shuttlewood basically reported on it for a couple of days. Overall,
named it,
yeah, he did. But overall, he reckons he's had over 800 sightings. Yeah, over the probably more. I mean, at the time of this interview, which was back in 1975. Yeah. He said that he has at least 2 a week for the last so many years, and he worked it out about 800. Yeah. So, he seems to believe it, and he basically said it was a case of we've got some eyewitness testimonies stuff coming up, I think.
Yeah, we've got
but basically, he said it was one of these incidents that wasn't just reported on by the kook or the village idiot. It was... a lot of people. He was the matron at the hospital, one of the nurses, basically, a major, a military major who saw it, and as well as a load of other people, like schoolmasters, the postmaster general, loads of people,
and it was basically, it was like, Phoenix Nights.
Oh, right, go on, how do you mean?
As in the UFO that went over the state of Phoenix.
Oh, right, with Phoenix Lights, right. Yeah. I thought you said Phoenix Nights.
Yeah, I did.
As
and I
in,
meant to say
Peter
Lights.
Kay.
Yeah.
It's a great series if you've never watched it.
Yeah, mint series, man. It's sort of like that. You had it's up to like 50,000 people now have reported it. But at the time, it went, after a week, it was about 10,000 people, so you had a hell of a lot of witnesses.
Because, I mean, even though we had loads of witnesses and he wrote...
30 reported witnesses.
Lots of people had a vested interest in knowing about it or even reading up on the story.
Yeah.
It got shoved to the back pages.
As usual.
Where it basically was just filler for the news. Most people didn't see it, but who did got inspired to come down and, put Warminster on the map.
It definitely did that.
It's probably the Warminster Journal's most famous story. Over 30 people
reported.
Yeah, over over 30 people wrote in to the newspaper over the following days and weeks.
Yeah.
Many claiming to had similar experiences at Christmas Day and verifying the original housewife Marjorie, and basically saying that she was being truthful in a report.
Yeah.
So.
Even the soldiers in the military camp that was about an hour and a half hours walk away heard it, and they didn't realise what it was.
Well, he basically ended up, writing another article, but also putting together a dossier of all the reports, getting them all together.
Yeah.
He wanted to he started getting a bit of an interest in it by this point. So,
Which you would. Would you would?
Wouldn't you just? I mean, there was a lot of people who kind of got involved, you know, and tried to, who kind of, you know,
Try to work out what
it was. It was a lot of
ufologists
who kind of, you know, took a big interest in this story in particular.
Even the British MUFON, which started up a couple of years beforehand, ended up going there and trying to work out an investigation there.
So
come up with nothing.
Now, people, obviously, the story's taking traction, and there's a lot of people who are kind of jumping on the bandwagon. They're saying that they've not only heard things, but now they're saying they've seen things.
Yeah.
Right? So descriptions of odd figures, metallic orbs, as well as cigar-shaped crafts.
Yes.
We're all seeing
cigar.
Now it's funny though, because again, I saw an interview with Steve Dewey.
Yeah.
Right, and he was basically saying that, funnily enough, not only is there a military base near near Warminster, but there's also what are they called now? Like these crafts, like microlights or like gliders.
Oh yeah.
So there's like a glider centre near them, which
so
has been
it
operating for
possibly could
years. It's a small airfield or whatever, right? But the way he says it, and this is a guy who's kind of noticed, you know, who sat in the area for decades, you know, not for full on decades, but, you know, over the decades.
Yeah.
And he's kind of witnessed how the military operated from a distance.
Yeah,
you know,
so he could tell
he could
certain
see
signs.
You know, the way he kind of describes it is that, you know, these gliders, because they're so kind of thin and metallic looking a lot of the time, especially the older ones.
Yeah.
That, you know, you might be looking up in the sky and you'll see a glider, but then all of a sudden it disappears, or you'll see something in the sky and then all of a sudden it disappears. But that's normal because of the wingspan and the thinness of the wings.
Yeah.
But basically, it's like if you were just somebody who just come into the area, and looked up and saw something metallic and cigar-shaped, and then all of a sudden it just vanished. Yeah, you'd be a bit like,
freaked
I've
out.
definitely seen something weird. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if you were a local and you just know that that's a glider from the local gliding school, then and he wasn't saying that all of them are gliders.
No, but some are going to be.
Some of them can
like
be explained.
Airplanes, helicopters,
exactly.
swamp gas.
So, and this is a guy who's
stuff.
heavily lived in the area. So, you know, so some witnesses even described cars flying after viewing one of the figures in the sky. And, you know, they're all putting them down to UFOs. So, you know.
Oh yeah, well, there's lots of reports. I mean, in like the year after, there was 49 extra reports on top of it.
What, in 1965?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got one here on June 3rd, 1965. Several people reported seeing a huge cigar-shaped craft in the sky. Sightings was reported by the family in Hasterbury, which is a town near Warminster. And their account was later verified by more than a dozen people.
You're getting to see there's a lot of eyewitnesses
then,
around.
on August 17th in 1965, a large boom similar to the one heard on Christmas Day, from the same direction as well, shook a house in the neighbourhood of Boreham Fields. Residents recall the noise making them collectively look outside. We all go, wait a minute, what was that? Didn't see shit.
Didn't see nothing but heard something.
Well, they said they did see something. A monstrous orange flame was seen in the sky, crackling and hissing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you reckon, UFO?
Well, it sounds like one. You say it don't sound like anything else.
Well, come on, give us some of your thingies if you've got some...
Well, there was an eyewitness, like on that night, where she said that, like, there was... tapping on the roof. It sounded like there was something on the roof, and then it basically she heard something like scraping across the roof as well, and then the humming. They keep hearing humming.
Hum.
Yeah. There's a lot of humming going on around this area.
Well, Gordon Falconer,
Yeah.
He was a local factory worker, and he basically was a bit of an amateur photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Claimed that he took a photo of a flying saucer light craft back in the summer of 65.
Good tune.
He basically went and he was interviewed by our reporter, friend, who wanted to learn how we'd gotten his already iconic blurry photo. So this is the photo that we've seen, you know, the one that's on the front cover of the book.
Yes.
Which is, I'll tell you what the book's called, actually, if you're interested in checking it out.
Oh, always question.
It's called In Alien Heat, The Warminster Mystery Revisited. It's pretty interesting. And that is by Steve Dewey and John Ries.
John Ries.
Yeah, so check it out. John Ries, spelled R-I-E-S.
Yeah, there is a massive... even at the time, there was question about this photo because... people were trying to see if they could take photos around that time.
Well, of course, yeah.
And wasn't getting any
Well, the thing
photos.
is...
But also, one guy actually supposedly had taken the photo and there was eyewitnesses that seen him do this. But then his camera... when they try to open up
exploded.
The film, basically, it interferes. And then after that reported, there was a lot of more people who've turned around and said, actually,
there's been so many. I think basically there's been that many. It's made people come from all over the world to Warminster to try and get a glimpse of a UFO.
Yeah, because the stuff's still going on to this day.
I seen this piece from 1975, which was a reporter who was fascinated by the story. He wanted to go up to the hills, Bell Hill, and he was with some renowned ufologists from the 1970s who were over the moon because they had predictions of not only a visitation, but a landing. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I don't know where they got their information from, but they were very keen on, meeting the aliens. They were all there.
Well, so they reckon
now the BBC reporter, and this is all very black and white, and in 1975.
Yeah,
and he's on site, and he's after a while, I think it was near midnight. They see two bright lights in the sky blinking, and everyone's like, "There they go! There's the UFOs!" And the guy says, "Yeah, I just seen something, but the cameras didn't pick it up." Right, and it's all about focal length. It's like, if you take a normal kind of compact camera and try and get a picture of the moon, it's too far away. Yeah, so you'll get a little dot. Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's so difficult to get pictures of moving targets when they're so far away that try and get a picture of a plane with with your normal camera or your smartphone or whatever. It's just not going to happen. Unless they're flying very low. Yeah, then you might not get the picture. I mean,
I don't know the quality these days.
Well, the quality these days you might be able to, right? But the 1970s, not a chance.
Yeah,
right?
nah.
So the reasoning behind the fact that there's not as many caught on film makes sense to me. Do the quality and the technology wasn't there?
Yeah.
Whereas now, I don't feel like we've got an excuse. I think to an extent, if it's too far away, I stand by that. Yeah, try and take a good picture of the moon or whatever. Yeah, with detail, and it's just not going to happen.
Or a
spaceship.
True.
So
Well, there was one of the latest videos that have actually come out around there is which come out in June 2017, which was a ball of flame again, and
white hot magma.
But it was a wicked video footage.
It was a wicked ball of flames.
It was going in a circle, and then that disappeared as well. But it was such a how can I say? It was such flames. It was like a mini sun.
The ferocity of it.
Yeah,
it was the ferocity and the heat.
Yeah.
Well, the alien heat, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's where they were going with that, but
the radiation. There's a load of radiation.
Got a story about that later
as well.
Obviously Arthur Shuttlewood, he ended up becoming the editor of the journal, but he was obviously kicked off a massive UFO interest for him, here's another one actually, because obviously it's this kind of sparked off on a Christmas day. That was 1964, wasn't it?
It was, right.
Right. But Christmas Day 1965 was another important day.
Okay.
Yeah, because people reported a number of sightings almost 1 year to the day after the rumours even started.
See, yeah, because after Christmas Day and after a couple of weeks of hearing these sounds and that, they dissipated. There was less of them. And even where in 65, when people were there to spot some, they did spot some, but then as the weeks were moving on, it dissipated as well. So it seems to come and go.
It does. Well, it did, and by 1966, the numbers of sightings had basically really dropped.
Yeah.
And the area of Warminster seemed to have been kind of, left to be peaceful for a while. But in 1967, 2 police officers had claimed that they'd seen an aircraft over the town of Devon.
Yeah.
Just a couple of hours away from Warminster, which obviously created a bit more interest. That was PC Roger Willer and PC Clifford Waycott. And they seemed convinced that they'd seen something otherworldly, which obviously sparked it off again. And being police officers as well, it does seem like, again, going back to, people who have, seen things and been in a position of, authority, then that makes me think, well, what is it they're hiding? Because obviously these people in authority, especially like your majors, like military majors, would know what aircraft they've got in the hangar, secret or otherwise.
Well, not necessarily, because the way I see it on that kind of operation now is it's more likely that the black operations are private firms and not governmental.
Yes,
so
it's
they
almost
don't
60 years old, this mystery now, isn't it? Or if not more.
Yeah.
It's getting on.
Yeah, it's getting on. Yeah.
So, there was a big mural painted for the 50th anniversary, which was back in 2015.
Yep.
And it's pretty interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's like, I think the fact that people of Warminster embrace the history that's put them kind of on the map in terms of UFOlogy.
Especially when the mid-1970s come up and all of a sudden crop circles were appearing around there then. And it set off, another part of... Because there is a lot of crop circles around that part of the country anyway.
Well, I'm not sure about crop circles because I've seen a few, videos on how people make them and people owning up to them.
Yeah, but there are certain
I'm not going to say that crop circles aren't real, right? Because chances are maybe 1 or 2 of them were and someone's just kind of cottoned onto the blag and trying to create them. Well, so maybe some of them are real, but vast majority of them are too... Do
you know how to tell? I do.
Well, go on. How'd you tell?
First off, right, on the crop, have a look at its knuckle. It's got like a little bubble in between. It's like your knuckle, right? Now, that needs extreme heat to burst. Extreme heat.
No, because you see them with a piece of wood.
No, because you can't bend them you need extreme heat to actually burst
pressure.
them. Yeah, and there's one of the telltale signs.
Well, if you think about
extreme heat has been put
but
on
it might
there.
have just been extreme pressure, which would be 2 guys
someone with a plank?
Yes, standing on it.
Not
just
enough.
think about, how do you know? Because it's not...
Because it needs extreme heat.
Right, well, I'm not sure. Well, so that means every thresher that goes through a field needs an extreme heat to take down the crop?
For the corn, you need extreme heat to break this knuckle, and it bursts from inside, so the steam inside that's made it burst. And that's one telltale. The way it curves under as well. And generally, there's a rock in the middle with a symbol.
You're like that guy. It's like, the humans couldn't have built the pyramids. Like, what? With a plank of wood?
No, but you can't. There's no other explanation.
Hashtag plank of wood.
There is no other explanation.
We built this city on a plank of wood.
Well, could have.
Could have.
Thought it was on the back of a tail.
Well, obviously, there's been many, people joking about the Warminster mystery.
Yeah.
The term "the thing," Where'd that come from? I mean, aliens, I think, if was it any aliens actually spotted? Because I see, figures, that suggests aliens.
Yeah, but I haven't seen no reports of seeing any figures or any abductions.
I think the
either,
thing actually just refers to like the noise, doesn't it? Because you can't call it anything other than that thing you heard.
Yeah, but then you got to question what is that noise? What could it be? If it is, I mean, we know now there's military tech.
Could it have been just military,
weaponry?
Things? Because it was like Christmas Day.
There's no damage to the
Steve.
person.
He said one of the interviews I was watching came out with it, and he was basically saying how. Why not have a military exercise on Christmas Day? Just in case we get attacked on Christmas Day. The military would do that. Yeah, probably run drills in case of a Christmas Day fucking raid or whatever. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, so maybe it was the military doing something first thing in the morning Christmas Day. But.
Well, it doesn't explain the sound waves, because the weaponry that we use today for sound waves and have been testing with is give people damage within the body, and also gives them, different kind of feelings and stuff like that.
Gives them the runs.
Yeah, and
makes them
they
throw up.
had no reaction to that. They basically, it was like a UFO was hovering over their houses. And doing whatever they were doing and making that sound, and then fucking off and then coming back. It might have been a foggy day like today.
Hey,
what I mean? All the time that it won't.
It's been a very foggy day today, actually, which is a shame because we've got a bit of news later, which is a shame. If you saw it, we'll get into it in a bit anyway.
We will.
But yeah, have you got anything else you want to add on the Warminster story? Any nuggets of information or gold?
Dogs had reactions.
I saw this. Yeah, go on. Explain.
Animals seem to have the the sixth sense is kicking in again.
They knew that there was something
not right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was a lot of skittish animals. Cars would stop.
Now, this is interesting, actually, because do you know the major I was talking about? Mm-hmm. He claimed that when he heard the sound, right, he was going about 40 miles an hour, and his car just stopped the instant he heard it. Yeah.
See, it could be. There is it could be an explanation that it is a flock of pigeons dropped dead.
Yes, I saw this as well, right? And also, right, they were saying that rodents were being found with holes in them.
Oh, that sounds like the cattle mutilations.
So they basically said, right, there was a report I was reading, potentially could be the same report, because or article, and it was saying that 30 pigeons fell out of the sky as if they were bombarded with something, and they all just got shocked at once. So, like you say, a sonic boom, might do that. And all these pigeons just fell out of the sky.
Happened a couple of years ago, didn't it?
It happens all the time. It happens more than you know that, actually, right? Fucking birds, flocks of birds just falling out of the sky.
Not necessarily birds either, it's also deer,
There was reports from a lot of locals that did say about the rodent population were being found mutilated, and why would that be? Well, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it seems it does.
I mean, it's hardly Skinwalker Ranch, but it's like there are other animals in the area. Why rodents and pigeons?
Well, why do we use rodents?
The rodents
for testing?
of the sky.
Well, it's the case of we use rodents, we use pigs, we use rabbits for testing certain elements.
Fucking everywhere.
Yeah, but if one of us gets taken,
laboratory mice,
and the family members notice, you can actually, then there's a little issue there. You're creating a little issue. But if you're taking an animal that you don't even, really care about, you don't really
run in a maze.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and then do the experiments on that before they do it on.
Yeah, I want the experiment of let's see what happens when we put a big hole in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, cattle mutilations and you know what I mean.
I'll tell you now,
and they're perfectly
I'll tell you now what'll happen. Don't even need a research grant, but I'd take the research grant. Just
Look,
to
cash
do the
in the back
research,
pocket.
because you've got to do the research.
Yeah, you need to spend that wealth.
Anyway, well, anything else? Because I think that might be the end of our discussion.
Yeah, I think it is. There was one big thing that I...
Well, if it was a big thing, you best tell us, because I don't want to be leaving big things out. If it was a little thing, I might let it slip, but...
no, I must have said it.
Has he said it?
Yeah, I think I've said it.
Right, well, moving on, because we do have a promo this week.
We do.
Hey, it's a pretty popular one.
Oh,
it's a pretty popular show. Hardy's Hardest Hats.
Hardy's Hats.
Yeah, we're from the people who brought you Cold Callers Comedy podcast. It's a new series.
I've been meaning to listen.
You want to check it out? Actually,
I will be
I'll tell you
checking them out.
who the meeting this week.
Oh, who the meeting?
Well, yeah, because it's like a series, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Tom Hardy
Is it Flat Cap this week?
goes off and meets new people to find the hardest hat, which I can't find anything wrong with, to be honest, as a concept.
Just got hard hat. That's the hardest hat, isn't it?
He's an handsome fella.
You know.
So he meets Boris Johnson in this week's episode.
Oh, tell me
so
you're nuts.
God, that's got to be fun. That's a chat that I'd like to listen to. Well, I will be.
Well, yes.
So join Tom Hardy in his lifelong pursuit of finding the toughest, most durable ever, made from hands, human hands or otherworldly hands.
Yeah.
Definitely not feet, though.
No.
He's trying to find the best hat. So tune in every week to find out about his hat ventures, where he meets special guests in an adventure that eventually spans across space and time.
Oh, space and time.
I know we met Venom last week, Tom Hardy, and this week he's meeting Boris Johnson. Get over there to...
It's a bit of transition, isn't it?
It is. Well, they're both slimy.
We'll
get over to Hardy's Hardest Hats on Spotify, and there's a link on the website on neverastraightanswer.co.uk.
So just come along and have a look and press the button.
But they're good lads over at Cold Callers.
Yeah, it sounds
Comedy.
like a cracking show.
It is. It's thinking outside the box.
Yeah. It's something different, something new, isn't it? It's not.
Almost forgot to play the promo, so you can check them out and we'll see what you think.
Let's do it.
This winter, relive the epic tale of one man and his hat in a brand new episodic adventure spanning all space and time.
Off, mate, it's my show. I'll do the trailer in it. My name is Tom Hardy from Peaky Blinders, and I've finally broken away from them floppy cocks over at Cold Callers Comedy. I'm finally getting my own podcast, Hardy's Hardest Hats, a show where I test the strength of every hat ever made until one is crowned the absolute hardest.
Does this mean we need to record all new episodes?
Nah, sod that, Bane. We'll just rehash the old ones, innit?
But what happens when we run out of episodes?
We'll cross that bridge, mate. Anyway, the show is jam-packed full of special guests, such as Tom Hardy from Legend, Tom Hardy from Venom, Tom Hardy from Dunkirk, Tom Hardy from Inception, Tom Hardy from Bronson, Mark Strong, Gerard Butler, Tom Hiddleston, Tom Hardy from Star Trek Nemesis, Tom Hardy from Mad Max, Tom Hardy from The Revenant, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and many, many more. Hardy's Hardest Hats. Get it wherever you podgoblins get your podcasts from. Mate.
So there you go. I like it. Yeah.
Great.
Make sure you check them out. Moving on, it's Christmas though, yeah, and you know, I wish we had a bit more Christmas news. I've got some Christmas news, but without further ado, it's a not so Christmas news.
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
It's the news. Oh yeah, nothing says news quite like Chinese restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, I like to think that, you know, if you work hard, you can't, you know, takeaways are a luxury, I think, you know, where...
Well, it's not such a luxury these days. Most people go out and
Just Eats and, you know, Uber Eats and
Yeah.
all the rest of it, it is super convenient to just get something delivered.
But not great for your health.
It's not good for your health.
No.
But, you know, I consider it's a payday treat, most people do, right,
Yeah.
But, you know, imagine... You get your takeaway, or it's been delivered, and you've ordered something really nice, and then you found out that they're using inferior ingredients
Oh,
And
well.
when I say inferior, I mean, this is silly.
Does not surprise me these days.
Well, this is a story that's gone viral of a Chinese restaurant that served up chicken. And we weren't just chicken, it was dino-shaped nuggets in one of the dishes. You know,
Well,
it's
let me
like
go
getting
into another
turkey
story.
Twizzlers.
Yeah.
You know, they thought nobody had noticed, but like dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets went into a serving of sesame chicken. It was, like I say, the story's gone viral, but I think, you know, what the hell? Come on, guys.
It's a cheap gimmick to try and get the food across to try and sell some more food.
So this is a TikToker who revealed the Chinese restaurant was using dinosaur-shaped nuggets to make their sesame chicken. So, you know, they had "It's a Hard Knock Life" as a song over the TikTok video as well. It's now gone viral. If you get, you know, I mean, if I ordered that meal and that came, I would be pissed.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't be paying the bill.
Get that from
Guaranteeing
bloody
that.
Iceland or whatever.
Ridiculous, man.
But
Ridiculous.
I found this story as well. But, like, you know,
Go for it.
got loads of stories tonight.
Yeah, go for it.
This is a story about the most unlikely place to find like an expensive fossil.
All right.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
It's home to the largest and most expensive fossil poo
Oh my.
ever
God.
discovered anywhere in the world.
How old's that poo then?
So
That poo's got to be like what, 65 million
it
years? They
is.
say.
There's a photo of it. It is
Whoa,
absolutely
that's a stonking poo.
a
That.
stonking poo. Yorkshire has a lot to be proud of.
Surprised it ain't got a
Apparently,
rip.
it's rolling hills, the Yorkshire Dales, stunning coastlines,
Yeah.
rich history.
Yeah,
Lots
beautiful
to
area,
talk
man.
about. Yorkshire's lovely.
Yeah, it's on
But
down the road from here as well.
having the largest, most expensive fossilised poo is now the reason for living.
Why not? Why not? What else are you doing?
It's
for
8
Colby?
inches long and which is about 5 centimetres, 2 inches wide,
No, you can
which was
pull that
discovered by archaeologists in York, it's something, isn't
Looks
it?
like a Bobby Dazzler.
I'd say that poo is,
It's going on eBay.
something to be proud of, isn't it? Well, like I say, I want to know how much they want to charge for it. It's
Right,
like they say it's the most expensive, so I mean, come on.
But then that means someone must have bought
Well,
it.
they're basically
for a
saying
high
the
amount.
poo is fossilised, believed to be Viking, about
Eh?
1,300 years ago.
1,300 years ago, so
seriously.
humans done this.
This is a human poo. It was discovered back in 1972, and then
Right.
back in 1991, York Archaeology Trust employed a paleontologist, Dr. Andrew Jones, to look into it. He says this is the most exciting piece of excrement he's ever seen.
I was bursting.
So, you know, but I mean,
That's
the price.
just shit, that.
It's said to be the most valuable poo on record, estimated worth $39,000
What?
or £27,482.52.
Oh, well, you keep 52p.
And it's fully insured.
He's fully insured for what, about fucking 15 million?
Probably a lot more than that. But it's been on display in Jovik Viking Centre since 2008. You should go and check it out. It's an impressive piece of shit.
Yeah, if you like your shit, well, you know, you could go and see one. The expensive one.
you
But
go.
I didn't know that was human. Fucking hell.
Assume it's Viking, man. It's Viking poo.
Yeah, fucking hell. He must
And
have a
Vikings
rip in
make-
his arsehole
make the
in that
best
fucker.
poos.
Fucking hell.
Right, well,
It's a big
give
one.
us some news, son.
All right, hey, there's some good news. There is some good news. The NDAA,
If you can say it.
yeah, the NDAA from 2022 has been approved that the Pentagon and the Office of Directors of National Intelligence as
Come on, spit it out.
180 days to set up an office to sort out this business of UFOs.
Right, so we got there in the end. But
we did.
I've got something to say about this, right? Yeah.
Right.
So basically, the government or this office has set up a task force, if you like, some
They need
sort
to-
of.
yeah.
They're saying we need a department investigation on UFOs.
Yeah.
Right? Have as many departments of investigation as you want.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to tell you
They're
and
not gonna
share
tell you the shit.
share the information that they've already got, then you're never going to find out. They just go,
Exactly.
set up your task force, set 10 up.
They want
Yeah.
all the evidence so they can put it into a vote and go, look,
If you've not
and
got
put
the
it away.
fucking,
It's
the
because
information, then
to do
what's the
with-
task force going to be doing? Sat there with their thumbs up their asses all day, going, I want to believe.
Well, defence bill's just gone through, which is given 770 billion for the agencies.
Oh well,
and
that's something to be
within
getting on
that-
with, then, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's for all the agencies, and basically they've got to set up this new agency, which is going to.
Task force. Can we join?
Cost you.
We will take on a handsome salary to be part of the task force.
Well, at least the X Files aren't. They're moving out of the
No,
basement.
the X Files are more like fact. The fact that they've probably got like and like you say, out of the basement.
Most of them were based on true FBI files.
There you go.
Yeah.
Getting them out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Talking about getting paid not to do stuff or paid to do stuff.
Oh, please! I like
not
that
to
kind
do
of
stuff.
Job. That's
I
a
don't know.
lovely job. That.
This is it's not for everyone. This because do you know the company Kraft? They make a cheese slice.
Oh yeah.
They make all sorts of dairy products.
They do.
But also, they do a lot of other stuff as well, I suppose. But Kraft are basically saying that they will pay a select few
All right.
$20 not to make cheesecake this Christmas.
All right, give me $20. I'm not going to make cheesecake.
I won't.
Yeah,
I wasn't
I'm
going to
not
make
making-
cheesecake
I wasn't,
anyway, so surely you should give me
20 quid up.
$40
Yeah.
because I had no intention of making a
That's
cheesecake.
right. Yeah, double bubble for those who weren't going to make it in the first place.
Yeah, just you're paying me not to make cheesecake. What happens now if I make two?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And does that mean if I go out and buy one, is it going to be more expensive as well?
Well, probably is, right? Because
Yeah.
apparently Kraft is using its cream cheese shortage
All right.
as a marketing opportunity. So they're basically saying over the holiday season, lots of people enjoy cheesecake.
Yeah, they
But
do.
for a limited number
Nice.
of people, you'll be able to spend $20 on a dessert that isn't cheesecake and charge it to Kraft.
What if it was a cheesecake from some other company? They're rivals.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're saying... Well, no,
yeah.
because they're saying that there's a cream cheese shortage.
Yeah, their rivals are going to have it.
Are they, though? Is it a nationwide cream cheese shortage?
Well-
Or just a Kraft cheese?
All right, then I'm going to order it across the fucking ocean. I will
'Cause
order
they're
it
saying,
from England.
Philadelphia
Yeah.
cream cheese,
Yeah.
is what Kraft make, and they're saying if you
Hey.
don't buy Philadelphia
Hey, I'll
this
tell you
year.
what we could do. We could go to the supermarket, buy the shitload of it, and double bubble over there. Yeah, I
this
want
is
double the
from
amount
the
of money.
from the man who bought up all the hand sanitizer and toilet roll in the area. Let's get all
God.
let's get all the Philadelphia.
Yeah, let's get some money in.
That'll go off in the fridge. Genuinely. But yeah, $20. If you're a lucky person, tell us what you bought.
Yeah.
Did you get? Do you know what? Take your $20 and go and buy it from another guy. Your cheesecake.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go and buy it from like
Why
a
not? They're rivals.
from the rivals.
Yeah,
a cheesecake
why not?
mafia.
Yeah. Cheesecake mafia. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So the
That's
Cheesecake
good.
Factory, that's not here in the UK, but I've heard things about it. Obviously, Big Bang Theory,
Yeah.
she works at the Cheesecake Factory.
Well, yeah, got to give you cheddar for that.
I like cheesecake.
Yeah, I
As
do
a
as
rule.
well. Yeah, strawberry
anyway.
one or lemon.
What is your favourite Christmas dessert?
Mine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got one.
For obviously people
honest, I don't
like
think
the
I've got
Christmas
one.
pudding, but I
There's
think
that
that's
many
more to do
different
with
desserts.
the flamboyancy of it all and setting it on fire. I mean, who doesn't like getting your dessert and it's on fire?
Yeah, I like it with
That's why
some with
sparklers-
raisins and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Oh, do you know I like a bit of eating mess?
And a bit of alcohol in it. It's got to have alcohol in it. Yeah, if it's got a nice bit of sherry or a bit of rum in there. Yeah, boy.
See, I'm not a fan of wet cake. Yeah, right.
I'm not a fan
I'd
of
love to hear
dry
people's
cake.
dry cake's how you have cake.
No, I
right?
don't like dry cake.
No.
You shouldn't have.
These
Sponge
differences-
should be shot.
Right. So sponge
Yeah.
shouldn't be dry. It
No.
should be moist.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And crumbly and nice. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Cake,
generally not.
If you leave it out, it's gonna go dry.
Yeah.
Right. Dry and hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. this is the whole debate about whether Jaffa cake's a cake or a biscuit because it goes hard and
should
not
sausage
soft.
rolls pay tax?
Yeah, so you getting me confused now. But wet cake is a problem. Gattos,
Gatto's
when
a wet one,
is a wet cake. Nah, right.
Yeah,
the only
it
time
is.
cake should, it is. Yeah, and I don't like it, right. But the only time cake should be wet is if it's a jam roly-poly and it's got custard on it. Yeah, right.
What?
That's the only time
No.
a cake should be wet,
No.
right. Then that's a different type of cake. It's a pudding. It's not a cake, right. Whereas,
Hold on. Just because it's a pudding, it can be a cake.
No.
Yeah, it can.
No, because
it can.
puddings are prepared differently to cakes.
All right, a wedding. You've had a wedding. They've had.
You don't have a
they've had
wedding
main
pudding, do you? You
dinner,
don't have a
but
wedding
you get
pudding.
a piece of cake.
Yeah.
That's a pudding.
No, that's dessert.
That's the end. You don't have that first,
That's
and
dessert.
then you go and get.
No, you're mistaking the terminology here. Yeah, I can't believe we're getting into a debate about this. But a wedding cake, when you have it as part of a 3-course meal, starter, mains, dessert, your cake is the dessert.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
Now a dessert can be any of the above. Yeah, it can be a pudding, it can be a souffle or a fucking a sweet parfait or fucking anything. Yeah, it's dessert, right?
Yeah.
But a cake can only be a cake and a pudding can only be a pudding. We call a pudding, being northern, dessert.
Yeah, because it is.
Right, yeah. We're having dinner and
We're having a bit
pudding.
of pudding.
We're having pudding
We're
after
having
dinner.
pudding and chips.
Yeah, but pudding, fucking hell, you
There
shit.
we go. We shoved that in there.
Right, for all the Americans who go, what the hell are
No.
these talking
The
about?
pudding and chips is a meat pudding, and we're on about.
But it's
cake
boiled,
pudding.
is the point.
Yeah.
Pudding,
It's nasty, I don't like
pudding is steamed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
a cake is baked.
Yeah,
Totally different.
yeah, but that, well, yeah.
So there you go.
Well-
right. So in terms of a jam roly-poly or a sticky toffee pudding with custard, that's acceptable. But if you have cake and then pour a liquid over it and make it wet, that's ridiculous. I don't understand trifles.
no.
I don't understand trifles. Those little cake bits that they put at the bottom of the trifle
Hey,
are perfectly
what's best
lovely. Perfectly lovely when you take them out of the packet and eat them as a cake. Yeah, but as soon as you start drenching them in spirits and they go soggy as fuck, who wants that?
The person who wants the alcohol.
Who loves trifle. Anyway.
The person who wants the alcohol gets it the best.
The great cake debate.
Yeah.
Do you
Think I
like
won
wet
that one.
cake, dry cake, or
Wet.
pudding?
It's got to be wet,
Who-
man, hasn't it?
Are we just fucking off our trees today?
Yeah, we're probably
Um,
talking jammy dodgers here.
I found this story about a professor, and I thought this was pretty ingenious.
Okay.
He's a professor at a university. I'll tell you what university he's at now.
Yeah, you tell me, son.
Yeah, he's
Oxford?
he's a
Cambridge?
Tennessee professor.
Oh, right.
So I don't know
Tennessee one.
exactly. He's
So,
in Tennessee.
University in Tennessee.
So he tried to encourage his students to actually do the work by hiding a cash prize on campus. All
Oh.
students had to do was read the syllabus.
Oh, my days. And did anyone win?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, somebody must have
Someone
won.
must have won. The clever clogs are the nerd
SWAT,
in the corner.
The swatty one.
Yeah, that's the one.
But this is Kenyon Wilson is the associate head of performing arts at University of Tennessee, and decided to put an Easter egg in the syllabus for his music class. So if they read it and kind of found the Easter egg, the hint read, thus free to the first who claims locker 147, combination 15, 20, 25. He basically put the location and the combination to the locker in the
one
syllabus,
place.
and that just proved that probably nobody read it.
Yeah. And what does that show to society? It shows that we're being dumbed down.
Well,
Being more
the
dumbed down.
class was made up of 71 students.
71 students and not one clocked it.
I'm not sure. I don't think anyone did, to be honest. Yeah, I think that just proves that nobody.
They're just
nobody
late. They're too
did
busy
it.
on the mobiles going, like, who am I going to chat to in a minute?
Hmm.
Probably. I'm just surmising here.
Well,
But,
I would just see. I want to find out now if anyone actually found it.
Just does make me think that like it's making us or the children of the future more lazier. Which this is what some of this technology is doing. I mean, there's a great abundance of technology that are doing great things, but there's also a lot of technology that's being wasted.
Well, here we go.
And energy.
Here's one of the students, Harley Decker, recently graduated from the university and took Wilson's seminar-style class for 3 years. 3.5 years. And was one of the students who failed to find the hidden cache.
Oh, you don't know, and you admitted it as well.
Yeah, well, must have. But yeah, it's like it just goes to show you never cracked your book open in that 3 years.
Yeah,
Crazy.
That's ridiculous. That's why, children, you should read and learn.
Stay in school.
Yes. Well, learn outside of school as well as inside.
Well, actually, stay in school. But if you're going to stay in school, actually read the books they give you. Anyway, where would Harry be if he didn't crack open his Defense Against the Dark Arts book every now and again?
Well. I don't know, Swansea?
Up shit street.
Without a paddle.
Right, well.
Got a whisper.
Just go and give us some news. I've got a top story coming up.
All right, then I put these two together because I thought the second one was a bit strange, but I don't know why. Joe Rogan, he does a podcast and he's like,
I've heard of him.
You hear him and it's like, yeah, right, you know what I mean? He talks some fucking sense, this geezer.
Well, sometimes.
He does.
No, but in the same respect that we do too.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's just him kind of like waxing about stuff. And I like that because, he has guests on and he doesn't claim to be an expert.
No.
He just kind of
wants to learn.
He wants to know what these people are telling him. So,
together.
So what's Joe Rogan saying now? What's he got?
Surprisingly, and he's not a Trump fan, he said Trump was right. The deep state is real and it is 100% real. So something must have gone on because actually the news has been having a go
someone's come on his show, got him high and convinced him.
No, he's always fucking high.
But that's what I'm saying. But they've come on the show, got him high and convinced him. Serious, that's the only thing.
Well, it was on the podcast the other night and I've got to yet see it. But something else must have happened here because the media has actually been sort of having a go at him and some people who've been following
Joe Rogan?
because of this alternative vaccine. That then they started saying, it was for horses and this, that, and the other. I haven't actually been following it that much.
Wait a minute.
But someone else who's used it.
Why would you take... Right, so why...
Because it actually cured him. So actually people went out there and started taking... Even a sportsman, footballer...
Well, I've never heard of this alternative vaccine. So what's this about? Where's this come from? I mean, at the end of the day, right, I just don't understand how... Right... If there's a vaccine's rolled out, which I don't still say, I'm still going to say it's not exactly a true vaccine, yeah, right?
Yeah.
But there's been one rolled out, hundreds of thousands of people have taken it, but you won't take it because you don't know what the effects are going to be.
Yeah.
But one guy takes it and he happens to get better. Maybe he just got better naturally, right? And all of a sudden, people are rushing out to take it. That makes no sense.
But then there were stories coming out
brought
that
to you,
there was
brought to you by them
medication.
fucking like people who, obviously you were saying Trump's right and all the rest of it. Trump was telling people to fucking drink bleach to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Or fucking,
Yeah, but he was saying it within the question.
Now, if obviously, from a health and safety point of view, I've got to be the guy to say, don't go out taking random vaccines somebody just claims that it's going to fucking help you.
This is from a clinic. So basically, you heard about this. Someone somewhere else, probably Sweden or something like that, had taken it, and they said they've got the cure, the cure for this kind of shit. So he's taken it. He's gotten better. So then he's reported he's taken it. He's gotten better. So other people have gone out and got it and gotten better. And
but COVID's not a thing like AIDS where you've got it and you've got it for life. But it's a case of if you get it and your immunity is good, you will get better.
Yeah, but what the thing that gets to people who've been watching this is that President Biden was at a rally, and there's a sports star who actually took this. And he basically blanked him. He basically, he might have been there for some kind of award or something like that, but he basically fucking blanked him.
Well, he's the president. He can blank whoever he wants.
Well, yeah, but he shouldn't be. He should be grateful for every person
of course,
that's
but
there.
what I'm saying is, right, yeah, what
at.
I'm getting at is, just because these people have, been, taking this fucking mystery vaccine and they seem to have got, better from COVID, doesn't mean that it's legit. I mean, like I say,
totally.
If it was legit, then they'd be putting
and
it
he
out.
wasn't flogging it. He was not flogging it. He was just basically saying, this is what I believe about it. This is what I've done about it. Yous make up your mind. You know what I mean? This is my alternative. You go out, research it, and then make your own mind up instead of being told, go and do this, that, and the other.
Totally. But what I'm getting at is, it's like, if you go out and do your own research and you come to the conclusion that this doctor has got the cure, then you maybe need to do a bit more research, because can't say either
Apparently
way.
He's researched into it.
I can't say either way. Right, because I don't know anything about it.
I only know
parts
of it.
But what I'm getting at is, just because one guy says it works, that isn't a reason enough to even take that vaccine, in my opinion.
That's true, but he seems to have had clinical trials and...
well, has he though? Because clinical trials in terms of like what AstraZeneca do, or fucking like Pfizer or anyone that, then the clinical trials there, is this just some guy cooking up some aspirin and Lemsip in his kitchen? Or what? I don't know, and he's saying he's found the cure.
Well, he's done his research. He's had a look into it. He's thought, you know what, this might be the actual thing to cure it.
I'm not sure I can get
that.
I mean, but people are saying fucking like there's a connection between what is it, like cannabinoids or whatever, THC, and that actually gives you a level of protection in terms of catching COVID, but. I wouldn't go and I would, but, I wouldn't advise people to just start bonging
if you
weed.
Want to chill,
You know what I mean? Like,
you're not working on any machinery or anything.
As something that's going to cure you, or as a fucking.
It's a natural. I would rather go to the natural herbs than I would.
I'd definitely do that. But
I prefer to do that way.
But I wouldn't say that's the cure and that's going to sort all your problems
out.
No.
And I don't even know if it's natural stuff or what, but apparently it was
They do some wacky things in science. Go on. But you were saying that you've got this another story that's kind of linked, or
talking about the deep state and that. Apparently there is Twitter talk going on about the super rich and those who've been in power and are still in power now are all fucking off to the Antarctic for a big meeting. Now it's claimed
they're going to see Santa, aren't they? They're going to help.
Well, it's claimed that these are the little fucking elves, aren't they, to help them out?
What, the people who actually do a bit?
Yeah. Well, that's true, because apparently it's claimed that it's the cabal who are meeting, let me read this right, the extraterrestrials and the Earth Alliance to surrender, apparently.
What?
This is apparently...
We're surrendering? Give us a cure to COVID, please.
This guy who gives information is pretty on top, basically. He's more right than wrong. And
who's this guy? This guy? Tell me who the guy is.
He actually showed Twitters of their Twitters basically going, next stop,
Who's
Antarctica.
the guy? He's going to say Trump.
No.
Go on.
Michael
Bublé.
Seller.
Michael
Sell.
And what? So Michael's saying that they're all meeting in Antarctica, where the human race is going to surrender to the alien overlords. And what do we get out of this deal? Subjugation.
Well, Earth, I suppose, or not. Depends. And see, these are the details of we don't know why they're going there, but there are a lot of super rich in that going there, even though. No one's allowed there without any permission. Yet,
they do it all the time. They've been doing it for the last couple of years, where they'll go every year to Antarctica.
Yeah, but they only did it
amount of people who get to go.
Yeah, a small set of party, but we're talking like lots of people. Even one tweet was saying he's thankful.
Is Boris there?
You might end up going there. He ain't going to stop because of fucking COVID. Fucking hell, he was partying last year.
True that.
But these tweets are saying like, thanks for like invite. I'm glad I'm going to go there, and things are going to change after this meeting.
Well, we shall see, shall we?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep on top of this and try and find out what exactly went on.
It sounds pretty interesting
It does.
if real.
Well,
we'll
yeah,
see what happens.
It sounds a lot of... I'm actually going to try and
New
find...
Year's Day when we get an announcement, or Christmas Day when we get the Queen's speech, and she says, please bow down to our alien overlords.
I'm going to see who leaves the country and goes
have
to...
a chicken at Christmas.
I want to see who leaves and goes there. Or goes to the departure airport that from there.
To Antarctica.
Yeah. See how many actually turn up there.
Well,
because if you've got any radar apps, for planes.
Oh yeah, you can see.
You can
the
have
planes,
a look there.
yeah.
So I'm going to have a little word with Agent Coulson, and he's good with his little app there, and
see track some planes.
See if he can do some tracking for me. Yeah,
excellent.
He does it with a lot of the other ones, but yeah, let's see. I will keep on top and get back to you if any evidence of or any information comes back.
I found this story, which is really, really interesting, and to be honest, I think is quite revolutionary in a lot of ways. Scientists have created what they're calling a time machine made from human cells that will reverse pancreatic cancer in progress.
Oh, shit.
So basically what they're doing... basically, pancreatic cancer is a deadly illness, and obviously it's spreads really quickly.
Yeah.
So now with the new time machine that has been built in Dewey University by engineers, it is basically a way of reversing the course of the cancer before it spreads.
So it can reverse right back to the normal cell.
So that's exactly right. Yeah. So these findings are possible with a new gene therapy, right?
Okay.
Or drug that's become, what they do is they take the cancerous cell. Yeah. And exactly what you said. They reverse it to a point when it wasn't cancerous. Yeah. Yeah. It's a new gene therapy, whether it's kind of going to take off and work, but obviously it's...
And how much is it going to fucking cost?
So what it is it's basically the enzymes, digestive enzymes.
Right.
So
okay.
So when your pancreas excretes this sort of like...
The enzyme.
This enzyme, which is basically your digestive system. Yeah. Yeah. And then all this goes into your small intestine, right?
That's right.
Now, the cancer happens when the enzyme turns into it turns cancerous, basically.
Yeah, it's been damaged.
It gets a mutation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it ends up causing the cancer to spread really quickly. Yeah. But with this new therapy, they seem to be able to kind of turn that back and, stop the progression of this cancer before it even starts to spread properly. So that's a big step forward.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't, explain it. When I read it out before, I was like, this is really interesting. But I hope I've explained it a bit more better than.
If not, there's going to be information out there, so you could find it around.
Definitely.
Well,
yeah.
what we do
obviously
is just give you the little tips, and you go out and try and find the rest.
I mean, it's just kind of like every year.
That's good technology.
This is the thing, though, because I see now more adverts geared towards like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and stuff, because they are legitimately illnesses that we can't treat. Yeah. There's no cure for these illnesses. But at the moment, in terms of cancer, there is, there does seem to be kind of big strides in, how to.
There has over the last couple of years been a few
handle certain cancers, how to kind of like
to look after,
prolong life, and.
But I think I truly do think that they could have done more by now. They've been doing it for a long, long time.
Well, if the conspiracy theories are true, and they say that
the
cure's in the cupboard, or when it's just about selling the treatments rather than the medicine over the cure, then that's just
because I was going to say, who's selling this? Pfizer.
Well, it'll be a pharmaceutical company, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You'd be making some more fucking money off the backs of the hard working.
Well, getting off the hard hitting stuff, I suppose. I did found some Christmas stories.
Oh man!
So this is, say it's still hard hitting. This is a story about a raging deer.
Huh?
Yeah, this is an aggressive deer that's been terrorising a neighbourhood, and specifically Rudolph decorations on people's lawns. So people obviously put up Christmas decorations, and there's a lot of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers strewn across gardens and
everywhere around the nation.
Well, this is basically a deer that is local to the area that has basically been coming out and causing a bit of carnage. Yeah. So,
so they're on his territory.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be if you like, where are all these deers
Animal
from?
instincts, isn't
Most of them are like 3D, statuettes,
yeah.
if you like.
Yeah.
So, when a deer comes over and sees this deer with a red nose, it's it's having a bit...
Get out more territory.
So, just be careful of the wildlife, and obviously if you see an extra deer on your garden,
you might have to fence it off or something.
It might be a real one and not. But this is a young male deer that he can't spot. He can't tell the difference between a Christmas ornament and a rival buck.
See, so what are they going to do about it? Get rid of the reindeer, or
just shoot
gonna...
it?
What, shoot
I'm only joking.
hey, but it might make a nice Christmas dinner actually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So keeping in a red mood, Christmas mood. Well, this isn't a Christmas story, but this is a man who was kicked off a United Airlines flight for wearing a red thong over his face instead of a face mask, and compares himself to the civil rights protester Rosa Parks.
Oh my!
Don't be silly. The man was removed from a United Airlines flight for trying to pass underwear off as a face mask. Adam Jenny was told local news outlets that he wore the thong to challenge the federal mask mandate.
What the fuck?
Still wearing a mask, if you like.
Oh, yeah, but I'd like to ask one question.
Go on.
Was it used? Yeah, what's that smell?
That's horrible. Where did he get it from?
Well, yeah, he might have gone to the shop.
He might have been wearing them before.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It might be a kinky shot. You never know.
He might just feel like the feel of lace.
Well, that's it.
Who knows? Yeah. The 38-year-old was travelling from Florida, Cape Coral, when he was asked to disembark the flight because of the thong.
I kicked him during.
I don't see how he can kind of say that he was being, an activist.
Was it? Well, no, but was his mouth and nose covered?
Probably. Well, maybe not.
It still wouldn't matter really anyway, because it's like putting a fucking bus through it. There's too much opening on the gaps, even the doctor's ones.
Yeah. It's not got the industry standard filtration
exactly.
in that, sir.
Yeah, so you can't have it. But then I suppose you could fight back and say, well, I'm putting my glasses on then because you should cover your eyes as well.
Would he have done better with a pair of tidy whities?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah. Pair of Y-fronts.
Bit of Y-front action. I mean, he probably would have got away with it.
Well, yeah.
You got some more news to tell me?
Maxwell's on the defence this week. Ghislaine, they're putting it down to... how can I put it? They're putting it down to they didn't do anything.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, basically, they're trying a tricky way, basically, of winning it. But at the same time...
By denying it?
Well, denying...
Tricky. They're being tricky. Why? What are they doing? They denied it.
It's looking like it's more like
got any evidence?
A comedy show instead of like, a proper judgment of what someone's done.
Like on the Maxwell Hour.
Yeah, but at the same time, which was shocking, two CNN producers, I think one was an ex-producer, have been brought in for questioning.
You mentioned this, but I mean...
For sexual assault charges.
Was it? So do you think this is linked to the Maxwell thing, or do you think this is just like another Weinstein where they're just, they're using their position to make lewd fucking suggestions
Just
to
got
women,
caught out.
or just got caught out.
Well, actually, there was a third person who got caught out. We weren't a producer of that.
Were they linked to a specific show between them,
know,
or because these three might have been on the same set, and made the same comments to the same person, and all three got sacked for that reason. We don't know that it's linked.
No.
But you do find these things coincidental.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But it's a case of like I really want to know what's happened about the judgment of the two black books, because the judgment was by the end of October or November.
Now, what
that
are
the two black books of the names of people who were in it,
Epstein's little address books or whatever,
is actually let out for public viewing. And I think it was supposed to be by the 30th.
You just get a lot of redacted. There'll be names in that book that won't.
But then again, that could be what these three people may be charged with. I mean, there's a guy called Black who I don't know. I can't remember his first name. Black.
Mr. Black. That helps, doesn't it? But he got his date of birth. They won't be able to do anything.
No, but he's a rich sod who gives 75 million to Epstein.
Oh,
and he's been asked about what for, and he has no answer for it. He absolutely has no answer for it. And in fact, his little pedo island was bought for £1. He bought that from £1 from the rich man who owned it beforehand. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's there's loads of questions. But even
if anyone's selling an island for £1, just let me know, because I'll give you £2 for it.
I think Epstein's will go for about a £5 now.
Do you reckon? I'll buy it.
Yeah, it's been used and abused and like.
But you can't look at previous history. I mean, it's like if you were to buy Neverland Ranch. You know, you'd know some shady shit went on, but you got to kind of.
You're willing to put that away.
Put that aside. You know, it's like most houses have had a death. You know, you can't move into an house kind of going, oh, look at what happened here. Well, it used to be a murder house. Right, you've kind of taken the shine off my new place.
Yeah, can I get it half price?
But if you got it for a deal, and I'd be willing to put the allegation,
couple of quid in
all the kind of history aside, it's a fixer-upper.
Well, yeah, but there's a fixer-upper, and that's a fucking.
I'd literally open it up as a what's it? A tourist attraction.
A tourist attraction.
Say, come to Pedo Island.
Oh yeah, come and see what you shouldn't do. Oh my no!
Look at what'll get you arrested and. So
or the dungeons and shit in there.
Anyway, I'm sure there are.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter thinking
shit,
about.
No, it doesn't.
I found this story that was quite interesting because it relates to 5G, and obviously a lot of people are against it. They don't like it. They think that it's harmful. Although there's been no real evidence to say that it's harmful. That people, this is what the authorities say.
The authorities wouldn't they?
Well, this is a Dutch authority that are basically urging people to stop using a certain set of products because there was necklaces and accessories that came on the market claiming to protect people from 5G mobile networks. They've been found, to get this, to be radioactive. Right?
Naughty.
So the Dutch Authority for Nuclear Safety and Radiation Protection, or the ANVS, issued a warning about 10 products that give off harmful ionizing radiation, right, and urge people not to use the products which could cause them harm in the long term, especially if you're wearing them, because obviously most of these are pendants. You're wearing them on your chest.
And the radiation goes through everything.
So there's no evidence, in the article that says there's no evidence that 5G networks are harmful to the health, but the World Health Organization say 5G networks are safe and not fundamentally different from the existing 3 or 4G signals that we already use. Mobile networks using non-ionizing radio waves that do not damage DNA. This is what they say, right?
Yeah, this is what they say.
But obviously, people who are anti-5G have come up with these products, which are basically pendants.
To try and counteract it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's 10... products in the line, and I don't know. I mean, this could be a total smear campaign to try and stop this product.
It could be.
This Dutch authority have basically said that there's the radioactive, right? And if you wear them, it's harmful. So, you know.
Yeah, because you're gonna need some kind of force to stop the G5 from impacting with you. So you're gonna need some kind of force to force that out, which is.
So basically the company Magniflex or Magnitex, even brought out a child's bracelet,
right.
which was found to be emitting radiation. They said basically they don't wear it, and they put it somewhere safe. Obviously this relates to an incident.
You won't be able to get through an airport or that, would you?
No, I doubt it. But yeah, sounds pretty crazy, that.
Yeah, so if you got one, send it back.
So Magnitex, if you obviously if you've got a piece of jewellery or anything like that from them, you know, get rid.
Unless they can prove that actually what this report has said is utter.
Well, potentially, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, if like this is an authority in health that in you know, from the Dutch, you know, when they've done the testing and they've said that these products are emitting an ionic radiation.
Yeah, you're going to need something to actually bounce it back. So yeah, I believe their study on that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there you go. We'll just be careful.
Yeah, be careful when you've got one.
Anything else you want to talk about?
NASA now.
I've got one more story before we go into NASA news, and it's a biggie. It's a big
one.
This is crazy because I mean, you know, there's some thieving bastards out there. Right. I mean, don't I just know it?
Yes, you
do. Sport.
Yeah.
When something so big goes missing that you think, where's David Copperfield?
Yeah,
do
he's
you know what I mean?
Not been around for a while, has he?
Well, he's disappeared.
He has.
He's done the ultimate magician's magic trick and made himself disappear. Well, he's not. Maybe he was responsible for this because this is a case that's baffling detectives.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. When a 58-foot bridge was stolen.
What?
Yep. I speak the truth. An urgent appeal has gone out to find the thieves. So the police have been left baffled after thieves stole a 58-foot bridge.
Fucking hell.
The story goes the entire structure was dismantled from its spot, and this was in Akron, Ohio.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is basically after a month after the boards were put down on the bridge.
Yeah.
Or I think, you know, the bridge must be a relatively new bridge.
Yeah.
Unless it's, you know, I'm totally wrong. It's been there for ages.
It might not be. Yeah, you're right.
A month later, so basically a month ago, the planks and all the kind of wooden bits were stolen from the bridge, and then all of a sudden the whole bridge. So they've dismantled it in the night by the looks of it.
But what do you thought of putting security there or some kind of inkling? You know, put some more wood there and a bit of security.
Lieutenant Michael Miller from Akron Police Department said that he couldn't not think of anything, you know, anyone could be capable of stealing the bridge.
Yeah.
He's been on the service for 22 years and never seen anything like it.
And he added, does anyone want to buy a bridge?
Well, he said he's met with this mystery and the question who stole the bridge and why. It's just a bit weird.
Get the FBI out with the satellites and all that.
So, you know, this bridge, it's not a small bridge, 58 foot with a 10-foot width. And 6 feet tall, at least.
They must have some. What was the nearest truck that come in there? You know.
Again, yeah. Well, yeah. It was built in 2000 and been kept in a public park, in the public park.
Yeah.
After the city decided to use it for another project.
See.
Ah, right. Okay. So it was basically taken down and put in a park. So it was built, but then put in another park.
Yeah, put in a different designation. So someone might have nicked it and gone, you know what? I like that bridge there. I'm taking it back there to where it was originally.
Maybe if they look in the original spot,
they might find a
bridge.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a bit weird, but they're basically saying the bridge had a value of about 30 grand, $40,000. And the police say the thieves won't be able to use the materials in any recycling you know, projects or sell it. You know, they just basically stole the bridge.
As a whole bridge to, I don't know, Mexican.
I think that's brilliant. I think it's not brilliant, but like obviously the fact that they stole a bridge.
Yeah, it's a bit. bit wrong, but like there's a bit of comedy in there with it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. You
gotta
gotta have a laugh. It's Christmas.
Gotta have a laugh.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said
you
you
look
got
like
some...
you got a bridge stolen.
I know, yeah. What's up with you? You lose a bridge.
Yeah.
Come on, have you got some NASA news for me? I've got a few stories.
I have. The John Webb telescope is getting ready to launch on the... Well, they're doing a pre-launch on the 21st at 2 p.m. ET time. Then on the 24th...
ET time, is that extraterrestrial?
Eastern,
right, okay.
Eastern
I thought I was
time.
going to say extraterrestrial time.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. And then on the 24th at 6 a.m. they're going to do a live, talk about it before it actually launches. And then at 6:30 in the morning, ET time, the launch is going to happen. And then we're going to get some... Apparently, there's already been some wicked pictures that they've taken and they ain't even fucking launched.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's like, Jesus, wait
Can't
till it
wait
gets out
to
the atmosphere.
see what it's going to send back, to be
Should
honest.
be
With today's
mega,
modern
man.
technology, I think we're going to get some stunning pictures back.
Yeah, definitely. More detail, more evidence of stuff as well, man. It's going to be really good.
Excellent.
You got out?
Yeah, I got plenty. So apparently there's been less UFO sightings in New York this year.
Oh.
Normally there's quite a few.
Loads last year.
Yeah, well, UFO sightings nosedive 41% this year.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, down from 27 to 46.
It's because they ain't got their COVID passports.
That's what it is.
That's why, yeah, so they can't come in, can they?
Maybe they're just seeing some of the other sites, whether COVID put aliens on lockdown or Gotham, or Gotham Gawkers just weren't stargazing.
Oh, yeah, a lot more people working and doing stuff.
I've never heard that phrase before, Gotham Gawkers.
No,
but yeah, they're basically saying, whoever the aliens are, in lockdown or whatever.
Yeah, more people had a chance to look up, but
yeah,
now
they did,
haven't.
didn't they? People were just taking life, relaxed.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, seeing the weather, like shit again.
Well, this is the thing. You're talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a big comet tonight. Well, there was. I don't know if we'll see it.
Well, we're still here, so it hasn't hit Earth.
Well, no, this is the brightest comet, which is called Leonardo. And you'll see it near Venus in the night sky, apparently, at some point tonight, December the 17th.
If you're not in England.
Well, it's not tonight, is it? That was a couple of days ago. This is old news. Well, all right, then. Yeah, you would have saw it.
Yeah, you would have seen it. If you were lucky enough and you were actually out and you see something
I was going to say,
across.
we couldn't have seen shit tonight because the fog is absolutely,
stupid.
Can't see your hand in front of your face.
Yeah.
Which obviously doesn't help the roads because people are just driving like
doesn't,
bloody
especially when they
maniacs.
drive down the wrong side of the road at like
Indeed.
70 mile an hour. They're done swag.
But
they crashed.
You were talking about like some of the pictures that they were taking and discoveries that they make. But apparently there's been a bit of an explosion in exoplanets.
That's good.
172 new planetary candidates have been found, including some pretty bizarre planetary systems.
So we've got some new ones.
We've got some new places we might be able to call home one day. This is a fully automated planetary detection system. Sift through years of data from NASA's Kepler space telescope.
Yep.
Wicked
scope, man. Got
loads of discoveries, so including 172 new possible exoplanets.
Nice.
That's pretty cool, and that's
good.
That's crazy because that's data they already had, and they've just gone, we best start going through this, and they've ended up finding loads of stuff they didn't even know was there.
Well, yeah. This is the thing. It's like the first Mars image.
Yeah.
It was like orange, but then in the 90s they brought it out again and went, boom. Yeah, it's better because they had more data. They could work out.
Yeah, it was
the
like the Mars
calculation
face, wasn't it? That's the when we first got those photos of the Mars face, it was pretty kind of...
it looked like a face.
It looked like a face because it was blurry.
Yeah.
But as the photographs have progressed and we've got better clarity, we can see, maybe it was just pareidolia. We just seen the face there when really it was just a mountain range.
But now we're seeing more faces.
Yeah, we're seeing faces that are more like faces.
Faces, yeah.
But... then again, it's like we see faces in everything as humans. You see a pattern in wallpaper, and you can guarantee you'll pull a face out of there.
Well, yeah, it depends.
So is it more that we are seeing things, but it's just down to our psyches?
Well, then
or
doesn't
maybe
that
some
mean
of it
our
is real?
psyches are getting worse or better?
I don't. Maybe worse.
Well, yeah, I'd say worse. But
actually, pretty interesting video that I saw from Russell Brand this week about the metasphere, and he was talking about how you know our own personal headspaces, and like if we get sucked into this, are they trying to then you're almost kind of giving up. You're already staying. You're already staying. You don't go out, and you kind of you live on social media. Yeah. But now they're entering your headspace as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. I definitely recommend checking it out. Russell Brand. He's a smooth talker. But,
he is. I've actually watched quite a few of his lately.
Recently, a lot of people. Yeah, but this is the thing, because he was a bit of a maddie for ages, and people probably still think he's a maddie because of the stuff he talks about. Yeah. But
these
the way
things
he
that we
puts
need
it
to talk
across is stuff that we need to talk about, and he puts it in a way that's not. He's just interested, so do check him out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking him out.
Anything else space related? I've got some more stuff. If you haven't.
Talking of Mars, actually, the European Space Agency scientists have discovered a hidden water just 3 feet below Mars's Grand Canyon.
Oh right, so they got their own Grand Canyon.
Yeah, well, it's like 5 times as deep and 10 times as long, but they call it the Mars's Grand Canyon basically because it's like the Grand Canyon. It's a massive fucking
big hole in it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're saying that there is definitely ice under there, so there was water, and because it was.
What's in the water though? Because obviously it's like
stuff may be still in there. Yeah,
we've got the Mariana Trench and like other places on the planet that we never thought that we'd find life there, but we did.
We do.
So
in fact, there's new life being found down there all the time at the moment. It's quite ridiculous, to be honest. But so it looks like that helps us a lot more. On one, turning it into an environment where we can live, but also 2, we can get there faster and have much more of a comfortable life than if we didn't have.
Well, yeah, it makes life a bit
oxygen.
easier for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. A lot easier, I'd say.
Well, there you go. We're going to be soon living on Mars, drinking pina colada.
This is what they're saying now then, right? Well, they've got no more excuses now. Let's get
it's more to do with the fuel, isn't it? I mean, water on Mars means that we can essentially make hydrogen on Mars without having to ship it.
And you've got oxygen there, you've got water there as well, which means you can put plants there, which means you can grow more potatoes.
Have chips.
Yeah. Have plenty of chips,
crisps.
Yeah, get some animals, and you got your fat. There you go, chip pan on the go.
Everyone loves it.
Love it. Chip butty, get it on the go.
Chip butty and some dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets.
Oh, I don't know.
SpaceX has launched 52 new Starlink satellites from its California base.
Are these going to fall down as well?
I've no idea, but I'm pretty sure that it's getting crowded up there.
Yeah,
they're sending quite a few up. So they've been sending quite a lot. This is on their Stage 2 Falcon 9, which we lifted off from orbit.
Yeah.
What is it? Vandenberg Space Fort Base, and that was at 4:41 a.m. I mean, what do you think about all this crap we're sending up to space just to hover?
We need to send shit down before we need to send shit up, to be honest.
There was actually 2 cases of meteorites that hit farmland, right? And when they investigated them, they found these were there was years apart, right? Yeah. And when they found them, they were 2 pretty much identical spherical objects, right? And what has happened is, over time, this is space junk that we've put into space.
Yep.
Basically, I think it was like a part of a space rocket that we blasted off something, to put a satellite in space. This bit is kind of jettisoned, and then over time, it's been balled into a spherical sort of mass of metal.
Yeah, basically like what a
planet would do, and it's been sucked back into our gravitational field, and it's ended up striking the Earth somewhere, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
first time it happened,
They went out, they didn't have a clue what it was. But then about 7 years later, they found another one, right? And it was almost identical to the first one, and they've realised what it is, and they've, based on the metals and what they know it's human origin.
Yeah.
And but it goes to show you that we'll put this stuff up, but it could potentially become harmful to us when it kind of gets sucked back into the gravitational pull and hits somebody and kills them.
Not only that, there's we're getting hit all the time by little bits
of stuff that is just in space. Never mind stuff that we put in space.
It's getting melted by the upper atmosphere. But the things that do come through, I mean, like
what people need to realise,
radiation. There is radiation like material there.
Yeah.
They're the ones to watch out for.
Well, what people need to realise as well is space is still the environment. In fact, probably more so. Right, because although we live on Earth, we're sustained and we're supported by space, aren't we? Really?
Without that, we'll be fucking nowhere.
We've already fucked this planet up. Let's not start throwing our shit into space, shall we?
Well, I think it's a bit too late for that.
Well, no, but I mean, obviously, you start need to thinking about cleaning it up.
Yeah.
So
spend the money on cleaning that up as well as the shit that needs to be cleaned up here. Otherwise,
you'll get some space junk in the head.
Yeah, well, not only that, you'll find more illnesses, more people getting, cancers, radiation. Radiation will
because
become
you're being
heavy.
exposed to stuff that's fell out of the sky.
Because you have radiation in your phones or the other stuff, and much
it's like my phone is one of those where it's like you'd be on your headphones and your headset, and your phone will start going. It'll go beep to beep beep beep, and you can hear it, and you just think, wow, is that the radiation the phone's giving off?
Yeah, but there's so much radiation in the environment now.
I mean, you've got television signals, Wi-Fi signals, radio signals, all these things whizzing past your head.
And you only need the strength.
No wonder
of
tinfoil hat
together.
People wear tinfoil.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Try and block them signals from fucking going through their head.
Oh, yeah.
It might work. You never know.
Oh,
anything else before we end the show?
Yes, the probe that is video.
In up your bum. Going.
Not this week. The probe that's actually taken footage of and touched the surface of the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Only the upper atmosphere.
It got close. It's got closer than anything to the sun.
It took some readings. Yeah, and it's got loads of details already on it. So NASA say, and I look forward to seeing what they're going to speculate, because the sun's getting a bit rowdy now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Some flares going off.
We've spotted a number of possible flares.
Maybe this is why the aliens are coming. They've gone like, well, you surrender to us and we'll stop the flares and the COVID.
Well, yeah.
Today.
I think we need some kind of help, because
maybe they introduced it, and that's what this is. It. We'll stop it, and we'll stop sending variants if you surrender.
That might be what the like the big Earth kind of objects that go near the sun and suck the plasma out might be actually helping, possibly.
I don't know
if the aliens are involved.
Hey, could be actually. Yeah, trying to calm it?
Calm the sun.
Maybe
could
be.
She is a young sun still.
What a son. Yeah, what a son you are.
Got 4 billion years left in you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're only a spring chicken. Got loads of life left.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the show. It's a Christmas show, and we've finished the show.
We're going to have a little break.
We won't be back next week because it's Christmas Day, but we will be back the following week, and we've got some great guests coming in the new year.
Yeah,
plenty to look forward to on the Never a Straight Answer podcast. Just want to say a big shout and a Merry Christmas to our Patreons.
Yes.
Thank you for getting involved, and you can get involved too by going over to patreon.com, Never a Straight Answer. Big shout out to Big J.
Yes, Jay.
And Swoosh.
Yes, Swoosh.
Everyone who gets involved in the show, everybody who takes the time to message us and make the show what it is. We love the support. We love the people who listen. And we just want to wish you all a big Merry Christmas. And hopefully 2022 will be a better year.
Yeah,
we will be back before the end of the year.
We will.
For a New Year episode, or at least one before the end of the year. But everybody have a lovely Christmas.
Yes.
And whatever you're doing.
Merry New Year.
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Don't do what I would do.
Have fun. Don't do anything Taylor wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Or would do.
Wow.
And thank you for listening for the year, and thank you for getting involved, like I say.
That's
the end of the show. If you've got, as always, if you've got any questions, comments, or suggestions,
Please.
don't hesitate
Yep.
to send us an email or
Please
drop us a message on social media.
Or
You can get us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're available on Twitter at NASA_never and on Instagram at neverastraightanswer. You can go over to the website at neverastraightanswer.co.uk where you can get all sorts of stuff on the website.
You can.
Just wrote a new blog
Yes, you have. Yeah.
about
you
Oak
have,
Island
Yeah.
and the archaeology, so that's worth a little read, about a
yes.
5-minute read.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, that's the show.
I think.
Oh, like I say, be kind, be good to people.
Look after yourself,
Look after
especially your mental
yourselves.
health.
Exactly, yeah. And we'll see you soon.
We will indeed.
From us, me, Gaz, and Taylor,
Yeah.
have a very Merry Christmas, and
Merry
we'll catch up
Christmas.
with you soon.
We will indeed.
Peace.
Out.